I'd like to thank you for listening to me today. Imagine being on death row while knowing you are completely innocent. It is suggested that due to new technology and reopened cases, over 1,000 people who have been put to death within our United States prisons may actually have been innocent. In 1992, Texan Cameron Todd Willingham, a family man, was sent to death row because he was found guilty of setting a fire that killed his 3 children. But in 2004, a commission discovered that evidence used in the case had been misinterpreted and that none of it should have been used against him because the fire was accidentally set. This was after he was killed. The death penalty is an immoral act that should be discontinued as a practice in the United States because it has not been proven to deter crime. It has been proven it is cruel and unusual punishment, and unfortunately, our legal system is not perfect. It should be stopped now. I know what you're thinking. Well, the death penalty must be a good thing for a crime because it is so accepted in our society. However, people do not really know what the death sentence process is all about. Death sentences are carried out in secret. There is no video or photography allowed when a person is being executed. Most states have prison executions done at midnight or very early in the morning. Not only is it ineffective in deterring violent crimes, the death penalty is actually a lengthy and difficult emotional process for inmates, families, and prison staff. For example, did you know that since 1978, over 900 people in California have been on death row, but of those, only 13 have been executed. This supports the fact that inmates live in prisons waiting for appeals, waiting years to be executed. They live every day never knowing the scheduled day as to when they will die. This is the truth that many people do not know about the death penalty, that most death row inmates spend their entire lives in prison. Because of this expense to the state for imprisoning a person for a lifetime, which most of those convicted of a death sentence are in California, many people feel that the death penalty is a more cost-effective way to deal with criminal and violent offenders. But the result of a publication in 2012 might surprise you. They concluded that since 1978, the death penalty has cost the state of California over $4 billion. This huge amount of money is the result of pre-trial and trial fees, appeal costs, petitions, and other costs of imprisonment. The study said if life without the possibility of parole had been given instead, the state would have saved $170 million per year, which total sums up to be $5 billion within the next 20 years. However, this approach is based on the worth of a human being's life with an amount of money, which I consider morally wrong. The death penalty is cruel and should be discontinued because it is wrong, not because of its dollar amount. Although the legal system attempts to provide justice, it is not perfect when it comes to effectively convicting those charged of crimes punishable by death. For example, mistakes can be made in the investigation and people can be wrongly convicted. There have been many cases where the individuals on death row have been later found innocent due to new evidence and technology such as DNA testing. Freddie Lee Pitts, Ray Crone, Gary Drinkard, David Keaton are only a few people who have been exonerated or their death sentence reversed due to being found innocent. Such in the case of Alan Bannister, who was a high school classmate of my mom's. Alan was from a poor family in Illinois and was convicted of first-degree murder in Missouri. We need to shed light on the horrors of the death penalty. Scott Langley, a New York freelance photographer, designed a website to be used for educational purposes to inform the public about the truth behind the act of execution. His website, the Death Penalty Photography Documentary Project, was the original work and contains black and white photos both before and after the execution. I urge you to further educate yourself and your peers about what really goes down in the process of the death penalty and execution. This immoral act should be discontinued as a practice in the United States. Executing people does not reduce violent crimes. It is cruel and unusual punishment. The legal system does not give everyone an equal chance for justice because there is a gap between rich and the poor. I believe that you can make a change if you open your eyes and heart to this uncomfortable matter. Thank you.